hit the wrong button again. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Steelers Dynasty podcast. I'm your host, Bubba Brewer, and we're going to be talking Steelers football. That's right, Steelers football, even though what happened last Saturday. But before we get into that and a lot of other stuff here at Steelers Dynasty podcast, I have to welcome the host of West Virginia Mountaineer Mafia. And he does a lot of stuff for that channel. And he's doing stuff out in the field and helping people out, doing what he does. Is special field correspondent, my co-host, Shane Stodmiller. Shane, how you doing?
Hey, greetings from balmy 7 or 12 degree Morgantown, West Virginia, Bubba. How cold is it up in Indiana?
Not 12 degrees. Not 12 degrees. It's not that cold yet.
No. That's what the thing on the phone says, 12 degrees. Now, when I drove down last Friday, Friday morning, I drove down here just to work a day and then drove back up. It was 0 in Slippery Rock. It stayed about 0 until Waynesburg. And then it was like 15 degrees warmer in Morgantown. I'm like, man, I'm going to take my clothes off.
Well, don't do that, Shane. Don't do that. But I mean, we got some stuff taken off, and it wasn't clothes. This lovely Saturday. We had our last watch party. I think it went pretty good. Besides the situation of us getting our asses beat, but other than that, it was pretty good. We had Rich Smoke come on.
Yeah, Rich Smoke. I mean, it's good seeing him. Mm-hmm. I hope his fiance is pregnant, not him. I didn't really get the clarification, so if he starts showing, don't say anything, Bubba. Nothing pisses someone off if you ask if they're pregnant and they're not.
Oh, I know. I think I did that one time, and it was massively.
We've all done it.
So everybody's in the community tonight. Hello, everybody.
Yep.
Neville, Patricia, Kelly. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for subscribing, because I want to give a big shout out and a big thank you to everybody. We are over 300. I think we have 302 now subs. Crazy. So we're very, very close to that 500 mark.
Yeah. So Bubba, I'm down here, and my counterpart that I teach with down here is from Oregon.
Oh, wow.
And she ran into a running back for West Virginia who's now a coach, Noel Devine. But another Steeler that was spotted was Amos Zaraway, and he's a Steeler.
Wow.
So
he was. I tell you what, he was probably one of the strongest Steeler running backs.
Yeah, you want to hear my Amos Zaraway story?
Sure, I want to hear.
Since this is out of the season, so I just drove down a back road that I had not been down since the night I drove Amos Zaraway, Joey, Jerry Porter, and about 3 other football players to a club. Okay, now here's what's crazy. Someone said something smart ass to Amos Zaraway, and it's this girl I know's brother, and it's at their house. And I'm like, this kid is not all there.
Right.
So I punched the kid before Amos did, just because I didn't want the kid to get smashed, because Amos had like almost close to I can't remember what it was. It was 500-pound freaking, like.
Oh yeah. He could, and he was squatting like massive. He was
he was like your nephew, like that type of level. Okay,
right.
And I would just see that kid's head getting caved in, and I was just like, let's get out of here.
Well, that's good. You took a Samaritan.
But that's my only interaction with.
Well, that's a good story that you met Zaraway that way.
But Jerry got drafted, I think, in 2000 and played for the Raiders.
Yes, he did.
And the night I drove them, he got accused of stealing something, and I got called in to testify that I was with him that night.
Oh wow!
So, and what's really funny, guys, is the judge goes, or the prosecutor or whoever is trying to get him in trouble, asked me, he's like, and I was working a pizza shop. I came with dough and stuff on me. They're like, why would you lie? I mean, you would lie, wouldn't you? He's your friend. I said, you know what? I like him, but he's kind of a jerk, and he's not my friend. Totally. But he went on to sign a $10 million deal with, I think, Carolina and only played 1 year, but it was all like guaranteed money. So he's doing pretty well.
Well, yeah, I guess so. Like Devil said, you should have let nature take
Jerry, you're right. You're right.
Haha, Dawn, what's up? So now we probably broke the shell. We probably talked about the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
How did you feel Saturday night watching that debacle?
Well, how I feel was confirmed today when I saw all of the staff interviewed on 93.7, and they basically were very vocal on their feelings about Cower. Or not Cower. Shit, we wish we had Cower. That makes us think about the chin. What I was thinking about is Mucky Duck Mustard.
Well, you know what? And let's talk about it real quick before let's, there it is. Mucky Duck Mustard, 10% off using the code, and it's www.morethanmustard.com, proud sponsor of the Steelers Dynasty podcast. Okay, let me get that out of there, and then I'm going back.
You asked me how I felt, Bubba.
Uh-huh.
And how I felt was basically, I didn't know how I was feeling at the time. I was kind of like, this is kind of what we expected, but not to the extent of getting your curb stomped.
Right.
Steelers usually are the ones with the rushing offense. They usually have the ones with, hey, we're going to just do a little bit more than you. We're going to keep it close. We're going to grind it out at the end. I can deal with that as a Steelers fan. They don't have to be great. They just have to be better than the team they're playing. They are a good team. Steelers are good, but they played against a team that was much, much better. And the thing that upsets me as a fan is the fact, number one, is the Steelers in the first quarter all season, were outscored like 74-0, like pretty much. I might be 3 points here or there.
No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
The second thing is it was against Baltimore Ravens. If it was against the Chiefs or if it was the Bills, I would be like, yeah, that's it. But the Ravens weeks ago were just about the same level as the Steelers as far as, execution and playing and talent but these past 4 weeks, it's like that whole team took an early vacation. Like they're checking their itinerary. We're going to Mexico. We're going to go.
I think they did. I think they didn't think they had a shot, which is here or there, but getting into the playoffs. But they played lackluster and just getting beat physically and manhandled. I saw a video, and I love Cam Hayward, but he got blown and he got knocked to the ground by one of those guys, the offensive lineman.
He did.
Cam did. And the thing is, though, you had some people not wanting to tackle Derrick Henry. Him and Lamar ran for almost 300 yards. Right there, you can't have that with this high-priced defense. TJ Watt didn't show up. He hasn't shown up in 120. I don't think he's healthy.
I've been saying that, Bubba. I've been saying it. They're not going to report on it.
No, and they're not going to say none. But he did say he doesn't want to leave, and he wants to be part of the solution to fix this problem.
Welcome. Let's get him aboard. But the only person I would retain on that team, who would you? Let's do that. Guys, we don't script this program. We go off the cuff. Bubba,
the top. Let's go with the top. Keep the 5 best players right now.
Well, I'm going to start with one that I want. That's not a player. Two. Let's say two.
Two players or positions. Five moves. Okay.
I'm going to say 2 keys that are outside the players is keeping the special teams coach. That guy is a fucking gem.
Okay.
The second is the grounds crew. Because they saved their ass a few times. But, first would be Boswell. That's the layup. You keep Boswell, maybe Watt, right? And then who else?
Well, I would keep Boz. Get rid of Terrell Austin, the defensive coordinator. He's terrible. I know Arthur Smith went today to New York and Chicago. I would keep Cam Hayward, Boz, TJ, and I would take Freiermuth. Is that 5 or 6?
Freiermuth's been hit or miss, but yeah, he's a good, But I'll tell you what, the Texas's quarterback is declaring for the draft. He's kind of Burley. He's the only guy I think that I like. But anyways, we're not getting draft stuff.
Yeah, I don't know nothing about that yet because I have to pay attention. Yeah, but I mean, we're going to talk, how the season went and stuff, and we do have some questions from the people in the chat.
Let's see what's up.
Yeah, and Devil says, "Do you have any thoughts on the defensive coordinator replacement, guys?"
Oh wow.
Me personally, I think they need to get rid of Terrell Austin and let somebody come in defensively and tell Tomlin to stay out of making my soup. That is a big problem. I know that is one thing that probably has to happen because Tomlin's not going nowhere, but he's got to let a little bit of his ego and it's like, hey, I need some help.
You're wasting your effort and your time getting a good defensive coordinator because there's a lot of coordinators that know. They know what's up. They know that, first of all, if you're an alpha male, Tomlin does not want you in as a defensive coordinator. He wants to be, the captain of the ship. And I understand he could be the CEO, but he has to empower these people to kind of do their job. He micromanages. There's a difference between facilitating success and managing success. And so far, he's managed success. And the success he's managed has been 10-8. Has been, 3-9 of the last, 0-6 in the last freaking playoff game. 0-6.
Okay. Okay, that was I said they need to replace Terrell Austin and come up with a different scheme. Ralph Williams says hello, Ralph, the Sports Corner host. And Devil says bring back Munchak. I don't know if they can get him.
Man, they have to pay money. You're gonna have to pay to play. I mean, the Steelers think they don't need to be buying stuff at Dollar General. They can go to Giant Eagle. They can afford it, for Christ's sake.
Right. Yeah, I mean, and that's the problem. Like, we're not powerful enough offensively because we spent so much money defensively. Like, our offense is Dollar General, and that's why we can't keep up with these other offenses in a shootout. We just can't do it. And we can't score first. We didn't score first all in the first possession all season. But also too, a lot of people took the Steelers to be last in the division.
Yeah, they but I was someone that said back 6 weeks ago, Tomlin can either be looking for another job, in my opinion, or be the coach of the year.
Yeah, and we were talking about coach of the year. He was, I think honestly, he's gonna try to get over this winning season and win a playoff game. And that's what he's going to do before he tries to end peaceably and is like, hey, it's my time. He's trying to go for that consecutive winning season and see if he can tie it. I think he'll beat it. And if he does that, then probably and I was listening to Mark today on his Roundtree, and I agree with him. I believe if it doesn't work out and we don't get any better than we're getting, he'll just say, hey, it's time for me to go, guys. We're going to do it peaceably and accurately, Hi, Gene. Yeah, but that's not a big signing. Ralph, he's been to 5 teams. Now, Dante Johnson is a total head case because he got cut by the Houston Texans. Like, shut your mouth. That's what I mean. Like, they're not thinking.
He's trying to collect all the NFL. Remember how we used to collect those little quarter helmets to get and come out? He's trying to collect either those or maybe like team bath towels, or he's trying to collect a set of something. I don't know.
Well, he's trying something. Yeah, I don't think he was 100%. I think they and everybody knew it, and TJ knew it because he didn't do anything for 120. He didn't do anything in 122 snaps, and that's not good. And I know he feels that way, and it's not a way how he wanted to go out. But I don't know. So
who else?
Let's see. Okay. Devil said Warren. Smith. Gene said Warren. Devil said cunts.
Christopher Cunts, yeah.
Yeah. Keep Fields, Najee, Boswell, Watt, and me.
Don says Fields. If you can get Fields for a good price.
Keep Zach and Beanie, your West Virginia boys. Well, I think right now we do not even have. We have a quarterback signed, Skylar Thompson. They signed yesterday, and they signed about 17 practice squads, and it doesn't even pay for me to name them because they're practice squads. They signed 17 of them today. Z says keep Elliott.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Hasselrig
was, man, he was a beast. I asked him. Yeah, he was a beast. Yeah. The last few years when Munchak was the O-line was bad. Oh, I thought Munchak was very good. I thought he was really good as an offensive line coach for the Steelers.
I don't know. I don't know.
People are dumb.
I don't really know who's out there. I kind of know.
You're exactly right, Afton. A lot of people are dumb. She wants to keep Elliott and McCollum.
Yeah.
Well, Nate Herbig, he'll be back off of injured reserve, so at least we'll have a depth in center and guard, or he might be playing guard. No, what was you saying? Right about what?
What about Queen?
He had a flu. He had flu symptoms. I mean, I'm not making an excuse, but I think a lot of Steelers were fucking sick. Had the flu. I mean, I was sick watching that game, but we had a good year though. I mean, geez. We were 10-3.
We were entertaining. If you're going to shit the bed, do it all at once at the end over the holidays, where you can kind of suppress your sorrows with Christmas cookies and fellowship with family and friends. So,
well, I mean, look, the first game, we beat the Falcons. We beat some shitty teams. We beat Bo Nix. Now he's, got him to the playoffs. Denver has a quarterback. The games that made me mad was the Colts game and losing to the Dallas Cowboys at the last minute. But our defense had $160 million and couldn't stop that drive. Okay, so we couldn't.
You give me 170 million
people.
You give me that much money, I can.
What's
that?
Wild Herb. Explain the late season meltdown on both offense and defense, and how both offense and defenses were okay through 13 games.
Well, here's the thing. I'll do this.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
This is the simplest way I can do it. They weren't consistent at all, but they beat teams that were not that great, okay? And they did not get better as the season went on. The depth just went, bottomed out. They lost a lot of players due to injury. And they weren't really good enough to withstand that. The good teams like Kansas City and Buffalo, they can kind of withstand the, those bugaboos of a few games where you might not be playing well. Kansas City came back. Good teams find a way to win when they're down 3. We watched that one game when we were down in Pittsburgh. Kansas City came back and won. But son of a gun, they do that all the time. Every week, Now, Pittsburgh's a team that cannot play from behind. They just don't do it.
No,
and when they did score that one, they did score that one in Dallas late in the game. The defense couldn't hold them, and then the offense couldn't get a first down when they got the ball back. So those are the things. It was the third down plays towards the end of the season they didn't get. The ball didn't roll their way. Luck has a little bit to do with it, but luck is when opportunity meets preparedness, and they didn't have the skilled players, and they weren't prepared. I think some of those losses towards the end of the game were just pure coaching. I know, come on. Everybody says that, but come on. What Afton say?
Well, she wrote a couple things, and here's what she said. They're soft. And that's true. We were. I always picked the Steelers to win. Okay, so and we were on that. I was on that high 10-3, and the opportunities to shutting down Baltimore in Baltimore. The sad part about that game is we played better the second time we played them instead of the wild card game. Like if you can't get up for a wild card or a playoff game, I just think they had execution. They had 2 tackles crossing in an offensive play. Didn't know what the hell they were doing. But the collapse was we were getting 10-3, we were plus 17 in turnovers.
That's it.
I think it went down to minus 2.
And you can simplify it to another thing too. And I don't want to blame it on one player. It's not blame.
Right.
You had edge rushers. It's not just TJ. You had other edge rushers that were really making some noise and pressuring that quarterback. Now, towards the end of the season, I think that the cornerbacks, the defensive backs didn't do shit, which really hurt, TJ and company pushing into the edge because the quarterback got just enough time to get rid of the ball. And when you have a good quarterback, they're going to do that. But what's Daredevil say?
Beat the Ravens at home and Washington at their place. Yeah, that was, and we also had that shootout with Cincinnati.
Yeah.
That's when we scored 40 points. Plus during that 10-3, we were averaging in the mid-20s scoring points.
But Cincinnati was the peak of the year. Cincinnati was when I think they were playing on all cylinders. They looked good. It's as close as all three sides of the ball playing great.
Yeah. And she just says that the Steeler Nation wouldn't be so crazy if they would have had maybe one. Maybe it wasn't a 5 game, and maybe it was they lost 3 and won 2 or something like that.
It was the manner. Right.
Yeah. But he also, I think Wilson threw for more yardage than many games of Kenny. I think Kenny only had one 300-yard game, and the Kenny Pickett stuff. I just think that was, they didn't want to mess up because they had a Pitt quarterback. They didn't want to do the Dan Marino thing. And I think it ruined them, and they should have just went with transitional Mitch Trubisky and Mason Rudolph that year anyway.
Mason
and then
fine.
Just go with that way. And I don't think they should have drafted Pickett. I wanted Davis from the Eagles, and once they picked him, I was like, eh. So, but and also too, in a lot of this stuff, guys. The Steelers have been picking in the mid-20s, 15s to 20s. They only had a number one pick in the first 10 rounds, and that was they had drafted up to get Devin Bush. So I just think that all this defensive players, because I don't know if you watched this game Monday night, but the Rams had 6 sacks in the first half against Minnesota. So if we were 14 and whatever Minnesota was in their record, I would be definitely losing my shit if we lost. I didn't want to lose to the Ravens, don't get me wrong, but if we were 14 and we got our asses beat and we had to be a wild card because somebody had 15, say the Ravens had 15 to clinch the division and we had 14, I'd feel worse because then, oh my God, we were 14 and something and we lost in the first. Dude, that would suck. It sucks losing anyway, but can you imagine those Minnesota Viking fans are like, oh my God, they're jumping off bridges, So there's a lot of questions, and I'll get to them. So, guys, thank you so much. Devil says, Big Ben for OC from the basement.
He won't do it.
He likes throwing the ball to his kids. Okay, Athen, I think the schedule.
Oh, the schedule was a freaking kick in the ass. I said that from the beginning.
We had the hardest schedule in the NFL, I think. And when you play your division opponents in a month, four times straight, that's hard too. So I don't think I've ever seen that before.
I stepped on my dick last night. You want to hear what I did on my show?
No, let me hear it.
So the West Virginia schedule is out, but the 3 games have dates on it. Okay? So it's like Robert Morris, Ohio, then Pitt are all on the schedule and have the dates. Then it has everything else in alphabetical order. I didn't realize that. I thought, why is West Virginia playing all their home games at the end of the season when it's cold? I'm pissed about that. I was going off on a rant. One of the people in the chat goes, I think it's just alphabetical order. I'm like, oh my God, you're right. I feel so much better. Talk about it. It's just,
Yeah, and Apple says defense did suck. Yeah, they but you know what? They held them to 19 points, though, so that is a plus.
Yeah.
Progressively worse in the last 5 games. Maybe Ben should help the coaching staff. I just think, and I like the people that we drafted this year, the young talent, but we don't have playmakers.
You want to know the best? I tell you what, the team that really kicks ass that we got this year. I'll tell you what is the folks we have in the chat. We have a lot of.
Oh, they're knowledgeable. They are knowledgeable. You know what? and I sent that thing, and I posted on Facebook today about Fuffy Iglesias cutting. Now, the guys, I posted on my social media on Facebook on the Steeler Dynasty and my personal stuff. That guy who gives Mark a whole bunch of shit, that Ravens fan, stitched my face, and then when I said that the Steelers were 8-2, the Ravens suck, and here we go Steelers. That's what I said, because of course we were 8-2, so we just must have beat the Ravens. So of course I said the Ravens suck. So we got our asses beat. So he's combing his beard. That's all he's doing is combing his beard where I go off, and then it's like Steeler fans' words. And he used collaboration to the Steeler Dynasty stuff, and I have to block him. I mean, he's that one that does shit to Mark and stuff, and he bashes everybody.
The YouTube police, so that they.
I'm just trying. I'm going to block him after I get done with my show. You know what I mean? Because I do it in the YouTube studio. Because we talk about the games. I'm not going to stitch some other team, some other channels, like another team that's facing the Steelers, and make fun of them because I think we're more entertaining and more talented than that.
If Jack Sparrow's legs get humped by a goat, I'm going to put it on our YouTube channel.
Well, that could happen.
That'd be magical.
Yeah, he's another jabroni. I remember guys. Okay, 3-2. And I struggled to. Yeah, man, it's hard. I mean, I didn't like that loss.
We can wallow in the suck because the Steelers aren't good. What we got to figure out is what changes are going to be made. And as fans, are you going to put up with it? I mean, the best way to do it, I'm telling you what I did. I was so pissed I didn't watch an NFL game for almost 2 years. Hit him in the pocketbook.
Well, that's not going to happen. I mean, you're not going to get that stadium is going to be packed. I don't know what we're going to be doing about Wilson, Craig. We signed a quarterback, Skylar Thompson, from the Dolphins. He's our third string. I mean, Allen, I don't know if they're signing Allen, the third string, and have go with 4 quarterbacks. And Russell said he wants to come back to Pittsburgh. And I guess Russell and Fields, or was it Russell and Russell and North? Well, they all thought they all liked each other. It came out today that they weren't really as friendly as everybody thought. So after Cincy, well, they had a high powered offense, Cincinnati Bengals. I agree. I don't want that either. I think probably we're going to have to get rid of some people, and we'll talk about that once I get caught up.
This can't be the same team as last year. Not even close.
I don't know why they didn't play Williams a lot more either. Yes, he did. He interviewed today. Arthur Smith went to New York and Chicago. So let me ask you a question. What Steeler, we're going to go one Steeler that you don't think comes back for 2025?
I think Wilson.
Doesn't come back.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to bring Wilson back.
Okay. I'm going to say... And I want him to sign him, but I don't think is Najee.
Yeah, that's another one. I think
that's a real said Cam Sutton. Yeah, I hope Cam Sutton doesn't come back. I don't know. Sam Howell. What's your take on Sam Howell? He was drafted by the Redskins, and then he went to Seattle. I think he's not.
He's like a Mason. He's like a Mason Rudolph. He's not terrible, but he's not like gonna light anybody up.
Yeah, there's not a lot of quarterback playmakers out there. I mean, Sam Darnold, Steeler fan, said, but look, he had the two last games were shitty. And Don said Wilson needs to go. I don't think they signed Wilson either, because they're not going to be able to afford him. And why spend all that money?
Right. And I die on the I'm dying on the mountain here, preaching that Fields should have been played a hell of a lot more. Should have developed them, used them. Especially when you were, losing. At least use them in three down situations. Just Jiminy Christmas.
They didn't even use him Saturday.
No.
I think Tomlin was doing the defensive calling and the offensive calling. And he's not going to let those coaches coach. And that's another. I know they're not going to get rid of them, but go get some defensive coordinators to know what the fuck and let them coach. And let them fucking get this defense.
Did you ever think as fans would be with pitchforks screaming about the coach and be that team? Like New York. New Yorkers are always either Giants or Jets fan, no matter what. They're always screaming about this coach sucks, get this coach out. Philly does that too, and they've been successful.
Yeah,
now Pittsburgh faithful are like that.
Oh, they wanted Cowher to go back in the day, and they wanted Chuck Noll to go. They booed Bradshaw, for Christ. They didn't like Bradshaw. I was like a Walmart Baker Mayfield. I wish we had Baker Mayfield. Baker. It's a shame that he fumbled the ball, but the pick really didn't matter. So why not play Fields more?
Right.
And you were a big Fields. I mean, you picked Fields as like the MVP for the Steelers.
Didn't he win more games than Wilson?
Nah, Wilson won. He won 6, and Fields won. Well, he had a better winning record because he was 4-2, and
yeah, he's 4-2. Yeah. So
and Wilson was 6-5. It had was he 6? Wait. Yeah, I think it was 6-5. Yeah. He had a better. Wilson had a better
percentage. Absolutely.
Yeah. The fans are just. I've been reading a lot of stuff about Steelers stuff. It's crazy. Like my whole Facebook feed was all about firing him the other day.
Yeah, everywhere you go.
They're not. I mean, it's not happening. I mean,
even before the game, Bubba, I told you I was at Eaton freaking Park, down in Wexford, actually McKnight Road, and I turn around and these people that look they've never even watched a football game in the world ever have Steelers shit on, and they're sitting there bad mouthing Tomlin. So,
but you got to. I badmouthed the whole team. The whole team wasn't ready. Like I love T.J. Watt, but that was a shitty game.
Yeah,
that playoff game. He was not. He was invisible for a couple weeks. I know he got hurt, but still, like he just. And his brother said his contract. He only has a 1-year contract left. He has 1 year left on his contract. JJ said on Pat McAfee show that his brother has 1 year. So, and Don says
he's not gonna retire, guys. I hate to break it to you.
Seemed out of position and confused. Yeah, Queen kind of wasn't like what I thought. I mean, look.
Yeah, he was.
He's still fast and stuff. We still can't stop the tight ends.
Yeah. So before I move on, TJ, I hate to break it to you guys, is not going to retire a Steeler. So I don't think so.
I don't know. He wants to be the solution. I just think
we'll see
that we don't have to go high powered. Like I think Larry Obajobi will be gone. But the defensive line needs some help, and they probably need a draft. And I don't know what they're gonna. They need to draft a lot of positions. We need a lot of help. I mean, I'm still taking Pittsburgh at every pick. You know what I mean? Like
this solution for the Steelers for rebuilding a team can't be done in 1 year.
No, and they're not going to get higher. They're not going to get the super playmaker that they're not going to get a franchise quarterback.
There's none to be had this year.
No, and I don't know if any. Let me get to some. Okay, let me get up here. Okay, might not be a strong suit about Queen. We need.
That's true.
You back up. We need to back up Cam too. Yep. Okay, John has a big thing. I would want to make 2 points. Okay. Okay, yeah, I like this one. I would bring him as a new receiver coach, and he gives some kind of discipline. I like that. I always wanted him here as a coach anyway, and when he came to like shadow, and he was just like an assistant. I thought they would have signed him. Okay, Dougie P, thanks for tuning in. More speed.
That's right.
Speed and wrap up. And we're not known as Blitzburg because we're not blitzing because of these new defensive schemes that Austin listens to Tomlin about, you know. Okay, Dawn says I'm telling you, he's going to be. He's going to retire, Steeler. We just got to get him a playoff victory, but he also got to get his own playoff victory too. He's got to show up. You know, I mean, look, we had a great. I mean, 10-7. It's still like a lot of teams would want to be in the playoffs. We just can't get over this hump. I don't know what it is. We just don't have the firepower. We need a number one receiver because Pickens is not a number one receiver. He can't get to the game. Christ, he showed up to the game like an hour. He was like 35 minutes late for the Christmas Day game. He don't care. And then did you see him at the podium? When he asked him, like, hey, is this offense getting better? You think this offense will get better? And he'd be like, oh, no. I'm like, shut up, dude. Shut up.
Yeah, he's not the brightest bulb in the box. So.
No. Maybe a coaching wish. Yeah. I think Arthur Smith
do that.
I think Arthur Smith running the offense is not it's not modernized to keep up with today's NFL. From Ohio State. Burns says clean the swamp. Hello, Burns.
Clean the swamp. Well, so after next week, Bubba, let's do a wish list. You and me
bring in a rock as a motivational coach.
Yeah. Let's make a wish list next week of the coaches. If we could get a new coach, who would it be?
That's hypothetically. Well, it'd be Chuck Noll for me because I resurrect Chuck Noll. I like Highsmith. Yeah. Everybody's right on. I agree with all your stuff. I mean, it's so much. It's going to take us all off season to figure it out, and then we're not going to figure it out. And then all of a sudden we're going to be back. It's going to be kickoff, and we're going to have to go right into it again.
Here's before we wrap up the show. Here is a high point that I want to talk about. I have been really, really happy with last year's class and how they performed this year. Frazier, Bishop, Price was okay. I mean, these guys are, McCormick was, people shit on him, but he was hurt. He did well. He played in a position he's not used to playing that side. So, hey, I still give them a B+ for the year for the new guys.
Oh, yeah. I think, and we didn't even see Roman Wilson, Logan Lee, and Watt. So there's 3 other players that will be on in the training camp, which I'll be down there to actually see what's going on. And Afton said a wish list: O-line, defensive coordinator, D-back, quarterback, receiver.
I would put DBs. Yeah. I guess you could put defensive coordinator in there.
Well, you know what they said? They said McCarthy come in as offensive coordinator. How would you feel about that? Mike McCarthy is the offensive coordinator.
Wouldn't happen.
Yeah. Want to see what Roman can do. Oh, they got tons. I bet you there's 17 levels of off-season issues for the Steelers.
Oh, yeah.
Devil says replace the ground crew.
No, they did good this year.
Pigeons for OC. Who's that, Shane?
I don't know.
I don't know.
The pigeons from the
Eric Biemini for OC. Wasn't Eric the Commanders OC? I don't know. They just need to modernize the Pigeons. They just need to have a modern offense because, I mean, I like running the ball, but they can't run the ball because they have more 3 and outs than anybody. Like that. This is what that offense had. It was 3 and outs. They couldn't score, and they could never get. I mean, it was 21-0 before they did anything. The play calling was atrocious. The pitches to Najee were god awful. Just play calling and lacking talent in certain areas. What I said, Roman. Well, that could happen.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I didn't know that could happen.
That's unfortunate.
I think the O-line gets a bad rap, Doug P says. I believe it's more the play calling. Yes. I agree it's the play calling. Harris is a north and south runner and should run in between the tackles. So I think and what I heard too, and I don't know how true it was, that Tallman was, him and, he would overstep, Smith on maybe play calling and personnel.
Yeah.
Afton's, man, she's on fire. She doesn't want anybody that needs called. Fuck them. Well, maybe they just, they need a horses back anymore.
Every horse trainer I ever met has an attitude like that.
Oh, that's crazy. That's funny though. That is funny. So there is some games this weekend. I know the Pittsburgh Steelers ain't in one of them. I mean, it is what it is, and we're going to be talking. Ladies and gentlemen, we got all season to talk about stuff because that's what we're going to do on this show. It's unscripted. We were going over the 2024 season as best we could in our own kind of way, and we started already talking about the off-season stuff. And none of this stuff is scripted. We just go with the flow.
Yeah. So, hey, Bubba, guess who called me just about an hour and a half before the show asking for Punksy Pete's number?
Larry Stryker.
Yeah. So I passed it on.
Oh, no. Well, you'll have to. Well, it's wintry and snowy up. It's going to be Gobbler's Knob pretty soon. Trying to get all these questions. That's funny. Oh, yeah. Afton for head coach. Thank you, Dougie P. Thank you. Yeah, I didn't go to work. I called off Sunday.
You did? You were that upset?
Yeah. I was still drinking till 1:30. I was upset because we lost. And I was like, you know what? I'm like, and then I think I jumped on with Mark, and I jumped on and me and Mark did a show. And crazy. I was like, I ain't going to work. I'm like, fuck it. I had a headache. And every time they lose, the Steelers give me a headache anyway. So, Gene said Eagles. Speaking of that, before we get out of here, we're gonna give our see who wins. Yeah,
let's do it.
Let's do it. Ready? So, okay, the Eagles play the Commanders. Who are you taking?
Ooh, is that right? This is gonna be a tight one. I'm gonna be like Lutz. I'm gonna go for the Eagles. I'm
gonna go with the Eagles too because it's. Did you see that Eagles fan? Speaking of Eagles, he got into it with that Packer girl, and he was just berating her. And someone filmed it, spread it all social media. He called her the C word, called her ugly. Oh yeah, he got fired from his job. He was like a big time corporate guy. You cannot do that, man.
So
these cell phones will crush you if you're being an asshole. A racist fucking jackoff. He was an Eagles fan.
Oh.
He gives Eagles fans a bad name, and he was belittling this Packer fan. The husband was filming him, and he goes, "Quit calling my wife that." And he goes, "Well, she's an ugly C." And I'm like, "Holy God!" So.
Got him fired.
Yeah. They got fired, man. You can't do none of that shit, dummies.
That's great.
Okay, so correct. It's Ram versus Eagles. Wait a minute. Oh shit.
Oh, yeah,
okay,
that's right. Rams versus Eagles. Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
I'm going from a phone. Bubba's running the whole show, so give him some credit.
She was. Yeah.
Was she ugly?
She wasn't a good attractive. Burns like she was ugly. Yeah, banned from the Eagles game, lost his job. Okay, so the Eagles versus the Rams. My fault.
Eagles.
Okay, I'll take the Eagles. Okay, the Rams had a nice 8 sacks with nobody.
We'll see what happens.
Okay, so the next game is the Commanders going into Detroit. Who you taking?
Detroit.
I like Detroit.
Lions.
I like Detroit. I do like Detroit. Rams will beat the Eagles, Dawn said. Lions win, Eagles win. Okay. So it'll be Philadelphia and Detroit for the championship. That'll be next week. And then we'll go with the Don't count out.
CSC now.
Yeah, that's true. Who is that? Stafford. Yeah, you're right. They might. That might be a good. I mean, they're all going to be good.
Plus, I gotta sneeze.
Lions and Rams to the championship. Ooh. I'm talking Eagles and Lions over the Commanders. Okay. I'm going to the Houston Texans go into Kansas City, and I'm taking Kansas City. Kansas City, I'm taking.
City.
Yeah.
Definitely Kansas City.
Yeah. Okay. So, and then the game that I'm going to be cheering for the Buffalo Bills to beat the fucking shitty ass Ravens.
Yeah. Bills. Go Bills.
I hope they get rammed in the ass is what I hope. Some of these Raven fans, I'm telling you, it pisses me off.
Yeah.
Fucking no class bass. And there's just some Raven fans that are cool. But I personally, but I only know one. But no offense, I only know one nice Raven fan. That's it. And he's not an asshole because he's like, hey Bubba, and he lives in Creekside, and I saw him at Sheets, and he's like, hey Bubba, I go, you know what, hey, good luck in your game, brother. He's like, good luck with you guys, and that was, you know what I mean. That was not fucking Raven fans.
Hey, wait a second. How does someone in Creekside know even where Baltimore is?
Oh, that's true though.
Yeah.
Well, he does. He got a map and looked. Yeah. Okay. Dawn says Texans and Bills for the championship. Wow.
Whoa.
John says KC and Bills.
Yeah.
Afton says KC. Bills and KC.
Yeah. Bills and KC.
Yeah.
Everybody's on the same page pretty much.
Yeah, because we hate the Ravens. That's why.
So give us an update, Bubba. How many subs do we have? I'm so excited.
We are at hold on. I'll check it right here in a moment here. We're working on that 500, and then whatever happens. We also sponsored by Mucky Duck Mustard, www.morethanmustard.com. It is right here once again.
Promo code the chin. Just type in the chin and you can get 10% off anything on the morethanmustard.com website. So 10%
there it
off
is, right there.
Code the chin.
And you get it shipped in a nice box, and it's nice. I'm hitting all these kind of buttons. Hold on, I'm seeing what I got here before. Okay, we have 303. 197 away from
yesterday, and we had 300. So I'm very surprised.
This is a real podcast with real Steeler fans. We're not X's and O's guys.
Yeah.
We are guys. I'm very passionate. You're more of a realist, so you have to fucking bring me down to earth. But I mean, it is what it is. It's mid-January, and it's always the after effects of when the Steelers lose for me. I just don't want to see I just can't stand the Ravens. I just think we were that bad, and we have a lot of stuff to work on. The second time we played him good until he fumbled the ball.
We're closer to the draft than we are to Thanksgiving. Going back to Thanksgiving, so just think about that. The draft is coming up. So
we'll do some mock drafts. Like every Wednesday, there's some Steeler news. We'll be talking about it. We'll see who gets signed, who leaves, who does whatever. And every Wednesday, I'm going to cut some videos and stuff too. I did one for thanking everybody for getting us to 300, and then I did I'm going to do like 5 to 10 minute stuff. I have a couple categories for like Steeler stuff, just to keep it going. So I'll be busy, and then I'm going to be busy Friday night with the Triple B Experience stuff. So I'm kind of busy, and that's right. Ladies and gentlemen, the Pulp Culture channel I have on YouTube. So I'll be talking about some TV. So
lots of stuff coming up, Pulp Culture, a lot of cool movies. So
2 weeks, Captain America.
I know Bub and me have a hot date. We're gonna go.
It's a Valentine's Day.
It's a Valentine's Day.
I'm getting him some nice chocolates, and he's getting me a rose. Yeah.
I'm getting Bubba edible underwear.
Oh fuck! I don't eat that, man. Oh God. Okay, guys. On that note, hey guys, thanks for tuning in. You guys are great. This is a great community, and it's all Steelers. We're not doing a couples. I'm not doing that. There ain't no way. Oh, if we did, that'd be funny. Yes, and the Red Hulk will be there. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Shane, what do you think you'll be getting that picture of what you're sending me?
As soon as I get it, Kelly, I can't tell you what it is, but I had to get your address, and it's happening. The woman who is my hookup is pregnant, and she didn't come to work today, so I didn't get a chance to get. And I was out today sick, so it's not. It's coming.
Thank
brother.
You guys. Thank you guys so much. We do it because we like to do it. We always have fun, and you guys.
So I'll tell everybody in chat before we go.
Okay.
So I ran into a major celebrity here in Morgantown. And I said, man, I got this fan that is just awesome. Can you give him a shout out? And he's like, yeah. So that's happening. So I had to get
Shane got connections, people. Shane got connections. He goes across the border to West Virginia. He's the mayor.
Nah, I wish I was. This town is like 3 times the size it was when I went here. So anyways, guys, good night.
Oh, guys, thank you guys so much. We'll see you. I know you guys are always subscribed, but tell your friends, tell your family. Go Steelers. I still love them. We all do. It is what it is. We have a lot of ways to go, and hopefully we get there very, very soon. Thank you, Wild Herb, and see you later, Devil. Go hit some weights. Shane, I'll see you when I see you, brother. Take care in West Virginia, Mayor. So,
yeah, it's cold.
Everybody, good night. See you later. Go Steelers.